Hi, we are Scott and Jenny McElvaney. This is our little growing family. This is Eliana, Isaiah,
and Noah.
And we got one here in the oven. We're not sure. Yes. And okay, guys, ready? 1, 2, 3. We love Nothing Hidden Ministries. Good job, guys. Yeah.
But I just wanted to share another story, another testimony that happened because of Spirit Connects and just learning the tools. So we've kind of taken some of the tools and sometimes we're able to take them home and use them ourselves. For instance, like we got in an argument, and so we're trying to trace back where it was coming from and what the underlying emotions and feelings were. And so when we couldn't figure it out ourselves, we decided to do a Spirit Connect, and it was amazing. And actually, I thought I was going to do a Spirit Connect on my husband, and I thought it was his issue, and I was like, oh, you poor thing, I'll help you, let's do a Spirit Connect. And it ended up being all of my issues that were creating this reaction in him. So that was amazing.
Let me give the backdrop.
Yeah,
I'll give the backdrop. So the night before we had this great breakthrough, I'm wrestling with the kids, and we have our youngest, who's Noah, and he's like 18 months old, just learning to run, at full speed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love to throw pillows at him when he's running across the floor, and then it's this big wipeout, and it's funny. At least I think it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny's never thought that was so funny, and this was actually the point of our conflict, which probably to the outsider they're like, okay, but we get in an argument that evening about how rough and dangerous I am with the kids, and of course I'm feeling defensive and like, I have all of my defenses up, and it turns into this big heated argument where we're like, okay, we need a timeout, we need to not talk, so we go to sleep, and and I'm like on my side of the bed, like, growling, and we should I share the dream or?
No,
Okay.
yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I was
feeling
very self-righteous. I was feeling very like it was okay how I was feeling I was in the right and he was in the wrong, and that he just needed to come around, and that he wasn't honoring what I was feeling. And so I was able to go to sleep that night pretty peacefully, like, well, he should just say sorry, and then and then everything will be fixed. And so I didn't understand what was going on at its deepest level until the next day. So we went to bed still kind of apart, and then Scott gets a dream in the middle of the night, and you can share that dream.
Yeah, I had a dream that there was this skeleton riding a horse, and he had a mariachi hat, like the big Mexican hat. And Jenny and I were holding hands. Sombrero, sorry. Isn't that the Spanish word for hat? I don't know. So we're holding hands like this, and this rider and a skeleton on this horse rides between us and breaks our hands. And then I wake up. And it was about midnight, and I wake up, and it felt like a really spiritually intense dream, and I felt like, wow, that felt like death. The enemy, his plans, just trying to, and that's obviously what was happening earlier this evening, just that disunity, that break in connection and whatnot. And you actually woke up, weren't you?
Yeah, we woke up at the same time.
We woke up at the same time. I said, I had a dream. This is what it was. I want to apologize. I'm sorry for being angry. Will you forgive me? I don't want a disconnection. I don't want the disunity. So we apologized at midnight. Didn't we make love?
We made love in the morning, so we reestablished our connection, even though it wasn't actually completely fixed. But I actually felt like that was a spiritual, warfare thing that we did that enabled us the next day to go to a deeper level that we wouldn't have been able to go to. So anyway, so then the next day we're like, well, we actually had a date set up. So we had a babysitter come, and we had a date breakfast. And so we're like, this is perfect. Let's do a Spirit Connect on this. And what we realized why we needed the Spirit Connect was because Scotty was feeling like he was having a really hard time believing me that I was for him, and also believing that, or actually also forgiving me. Like you couldn't, like you forgave me, but you didn't really.
What it was,
you still felt
Jenny was
frustration.
saying, she said, you're a great daddy, and I love the way you parent and the way you love our kids. And I'm having this, just open, honest moment. I said, wow, babe, I think I need to do a spirit connect, because I have forgiven, like the conflict we had, I've forgiven you, but I'm having a really hard time believing you. Let's get to the root of this, because I'm having all this doubt that I hear what you're saying, but my heart's not connecting with it. So let's spirit connect this and figure out where we need to go, and then.
Yes, so I'm feeling really justified and really good about myself as I lead him through the Spirit Connect. But what was interesting is, as I was leading him deeper into the Spirit Connect, Holy Spirit, like popcorn, starts bringing up these thoughts and memories to me of things that I had partnered with in the past. And all of a sudden I start getting these really deep revelations, and I'm like, whoa, babe, we need to stop. Like, this is actually what God is showing me. And it just turned it around, and then he needed to do a Spirit Connect on me. And so what it was so I was feeling like he was dangerous, like he was being dangerous, and that he wasn't being wise with our kids. And Holy Spirit actually took me all the way back to when Isaiah was 1.5.
Yeah.
And so basically we went back to the first memory where this started, and it was when Isaiah was 1.5 years, 3 years ago. And Scotty, he was just learning to walk, and Scotty threw a t-shirt at him. And it was just the worst timing, because he was right next to this low coffee table, and so he teetered right into it and chipped his tooth. And Holy Spirit showed me that in that moment, the enemy came at me with a lie and said, he's dangerous. And so the moment I grasped that lie and believed it, it opened this door to more lies coming in. So then another accident would happen, and then I would grasp another lie, which was like, he's more of an older brother than a father in the way that he is with the kids. And it was like,
and the kids always get hurt.
Yeah, and then there was this one where the kids always get hurt with him. And actually, when I began to speak out, the kids always get hurt with you, it actually became a word curse. And the Holy Spirit went deeper even and showed me.
Let me say one thing.
Wait,
go. You gotta
and showed me that the word curse actually opened a door to a spirit of menace coming in and actually causing those accidents to happen. So by me verbalizing that word curse, I was actually actualizing it to happen. So I was opening the door for that spirit of menace to come and then cause these accidents. And the accidents enabled me to go deeper in my belief system that this was true, that he really was dangerous, because look, it's happening. And but it was all because of a word curse that I had partnered with and lies that I had held on to. So
and it was interesting. Every time I'd play with the kids, I'd go in the room, they're jumping on the bed just like they have been. The minute I walk in the room, it's like daddy playtime. Somebody would fly off of the bed, hit their head. They're screaming, they're crying. Mom comes in the room straight away. What happened?
Perfect time.
I don't know. I walked in the room and bam, like their head. And she's like, they always get hurt with you. And so I'm like, no, I didn't even do anything. I didn't touch them. I didn't, And so we saw this thing. The other thing that we saw was with the kids was specific to relationship with Isaiah. And Eliana, I felt like they were kind of pulling away from me, and I didn't know why. And I would say, baby, I feel like it's really hard to connect with the kids. There's this connection that's not there, and you can briefly explain that.
Yeah, and so because I had started speaking out, they always get hurt with you. I actually noticed the kids grabbed that curse as well, and then I even heard it come out of Eliana's mouth. We always get hurt with Daddy, and
she actually said, Daddy's more like an older brother than a dad.
She started saying the things that I had said. And so then she's believing these things, which is causing a separation in their relationship, actually causing them to feel unsafe with him, even though it's it's not him, it's an attack against his character.
Mm-hmm.
And so, oh my goodness, when the Holy Spirit was revealing these things, I was just weeping, bawling.
In the restaurant.
In the
We're on a
restaurant,
table,
I didn't care.
Spirit connecting on a date in a restaurant, which is amazing. You can do it anywhere, car, home, airplane, trains, planes, wherever.
Yeah, but it was so deep healing. I was like, just break me open, Holy Spirit, because I this is ugly. Like, I don't want to partner with this. I wanted them to have an amazing relationship, and I actually was partnering with the very thing Satan wanted to do to separate them. And so the other thing that we noticed was we were always confused why Isaiah, our 4-year-old, why he always struggled with acting like a baby. He would act like a baby all the time, and especially when his dad would come to play with him, he would just whine and act like a baby and separate. And so I asked Holy Spirit, why is that? I felt like there was something on that, like the Holy Spirit wanted to show me something. And right away he just revealed to me that the moment that happened at 1.5, and
when he chipped his tooth.
When he chipped his tooth, and I took on that lie and began to speak those word curses. At that moment, Isaiah actually stopped growing in maturity, and so he was stuck at that age. And so anytime he would feel unsafe, he would revert back to that age as a baby.
Yeah. So we're at the restaurant, and we're trying to figure out how to. Okay, God, you've showed up in an amazing way. How do we wrap this up? What do we need to do with our kids? Is there reconciliation? Do we need to ask forgiveness? Do we need to bring up each of these points with them? And we both felt the Holy Spirit just say, use the tools. Walk out the revelation I've given you, and you'll see what happens in your family. So we go home, and in a new way that we hadn't experienced. I come home and the kids are always, "Hey, Daddy," but I come home, and especially Isaiah runs across the house, jumps in my arms, and says, "Daddy, I love you. I missed you so much." And I'm looking at Janie going, I think this is what the Holy Spirit was talking about. Like this, we just changed what, it was all cut off, and now heaven was in the home and in our family, and we're like, oh my goodness. And since then, we have seen Isaiah, the whole baby thing, and whatnot. He started like fighting with me, like in a good way, like wrestling, like he's never done. And I'm like, wow, this is so cool. This guy is really fierce, he's a little warrior. And he wasn't doing the baby thing, and I would look up at Jenny, like we're, in the living room wrestling, and she's like, it happened, like God just did it. He reset it, and
it was overnight. It was instantaneous. And so the breakthrough that we received together, going through reconciliation tools and breaking off generational curses, that all just got released to our kids without having to walk through that Spirit Connect with them. So it was really beautiful, because I just saw it as we were there covering, and so it just got passed down. And so it no longer was flowing in that generational thing. It was already cut off, and
that's right.
Jesus already restored it. So that was really amazing. I did forget one really important part. The Holy Spirit showed me the reason why I was believing those lies in the first place was because I had believed a lie that was generationally passed down, that my role as a mother was less than his role as the provider.
This is good.
And so because of that, I was constantly trying to get up to his level, and God actually showed me I was doing that by pulling him down. I was doing that by
competitive.
By partnering with competition, comparison, victim spirit. I mean, so many things.
It was big. The whole thing opened up.
But the major thing was that it was because of my identity. I actually believed I was less than, and so all of his flaws that I saw as flaws, I would point out, and I would project those to try to lift myself up, to try to feel like we were level, because I believed that I was less than. I believed he was more powerful. So in that Spirit Connect, we actually broke all that stuff too. We broke off the victim spirit, comparison, jealousy.
Invited Jesus in.
The lies that my role was less than. So we went really far, and it was generational curses with the mother, the role as a mother being less than. And so this was a huge breakthrough. And after we had this amazing breakthrough, I just felt really stirred in my heart to call my mom. So I called her and said, I just have this amazing testimony to share with you. And I just shared everything, like step by step, what we went through, the way the Spirit Connect went, everything that we broke off. And I didn't say it was from her. I just showed what had come against me. And she just starts crying on the phone, and she's like, I can't talk right now, but I'll talk to you later. God's doing so much in my heart right now. And I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. So yeah, long story short, basically God brought the same kind of breakthrough into her life because of the testimony of what he did with us. And so she was able to go on a date with her husband, my dad, and they worked a lot of stuff out too. Yeah. And so this just got passed down. I called my sister and my sister-in-law, and everybody was getting breakthrough from the testimony. So it was amazing.
Power of the testimony. Yay, Jesus.
Yeah.